All right, guys, here she comes. Start jacking it up slowly until we get it off the motor mounts. For some reason the front's binding. There she goes. There will be spacers underneath there on the motor mounts. Disregard those when we put this motor back in. I'm going to show you guys how you line the pump. I'm having a tool made right now for it. We're going to bring it up not too high because we have to watch this oil pump line. I'm hoping we can bring it up high enough to where I can disconnect it where I can see it. So far it looks like the studs are holding. Oh yeah, it's gonna come right out, guys. We hope. Keep an eye on that oil line. It's getting shorter and shorter. Yeah, that's about as far as you're gonna be able to go with that oil line. I'm gonna put new oil lines on here. So it looks like the oil line's got a clip down in here. Let me cut the camera, get a flashlight, and I'll show you. And I'll show you how we're gonna do it. And I'm just gonna undo this clamp right here. There's a clamp for where the oil filter, there's a little filter for the oil. I'm just gonna undo it there. And holy moly, do we have an oil leak. Holy crap. All right, well, let me get it on down. The hall's filling up with oil. There you have it, guys. I just stuck a bolt in there. Not sure what size bolt that is. It's a pretty decent size. I wish I knew to tell you guys. I honestly don't. I'm gonna tighten that clamp back up. We'll keep cranking her up. And there's plenty of slack in that line for your starter wire, so I'm not too worried about that. CDI box is loose anyway, so I'll be able to jack this motor up nice and high where I can see what I'm doing. She's coming out. All right, guys, I'll show you on the other side what we got to disconnect. It's been so long since I've had one of these motors out, forgot about how much fun it is. Okay, right here will be your starter bolt. And it's loose. Wonder the starter even worked. Get the cap off. It's a rubber cap. Might have to fight with it like you see me doing. And I'll tell you what size it is. I think, if I remember correctly, these are 10 mils. I'll let you know in a minute. Here's the nut for your starter wire. It is 10 mil. Take that off, let it fall back in the hull. And I'll put the nut back on the starter for now. And then I gotta go clean out this cesspool workbench I have so we can get this motor up on there, and I'll show you guys a few things to wrap up this video that I noticed that are concerning a little bit, and that'll wrap it up. So let me get it on the bench. Alright guys, this is where we're gonna wrap up the video. Here I have my Harbor Freight paint stand they use in the body shop, so the board on top with all my crap. And over here, here's the motor out of the $500 jet ski. So I want to get the carbs off in a different video. The issues I was talking about is I noticed this oil line here is pretty damn tight and it's broke. It's leaking right here. That could have been what melted down this cylinder. I don't know. I don't know the condition inside these carbs. All I know is everything has to be gone through. It has to be correct. I don't know what the hell this is. I got rubber caps. I have no idea what the hell. They got a splitter in here for the vacuum. These fuel lines are actually soft. I'm surprised, but I don't know if this is supposed to be a dead end down here. Can't really see on camera. Half-ass cut off bolts, excuse the language. So like I said, we got to get these jugs off. I know number 1 is definitely screwed. I don't know about number 3 yet, so we got to get the drive shaft adapter off. Show you guys how to do that. We are gonna have to put this head back on. So all right guys, well, that's gonna wrap it up. Everything's got to be taken apart. Everything's got to be correct on this. You know, it's a lot of work to go through all this, so I'm gonna parts wash everything, take the crank out, new crank seals. I mean, we're gonna do it right. New oil lines, everything's gonna be right. OEM carb kits. Now there is one thing before I want to wrap up this video. That hull, I don't know, I think I showed you guys on the other video, I don't know if they hit something, what they did, but around where the pump housing goes on the back of the hull itself, They're supposed to be studs, and they got bolts in there, and they got Flex Seal, they got all kinds of stuff. So that's going to be one big thing. I got to get that off. I got to get somebody over here to help me hold the bolts on the back side so I can get the nuts off. And I have to pry that housing off, and I really got to check that hull over to make sure that the hull itself isn't broke or damaged. As long as we can clean that up, we're good to go. Either way, the backup plan is I'm going to build this motor unless the crankcase is busted from being froze. I hope it's not water froze in there, or I hope water didn't freeze in there and break the bottom of the block. I don't know yet. I don't know until I get it apart. But worst case scenario, we're going to build this motor. We're going to put this motor together right, and we'll find a hull for it. So stay tuned. Next video, carbs are going to be coming off. We'll get this whole thing disassembled, and we'll see what we got. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.